Good morning, YouTuber family. Jonny Cashflow here. Hope you're all doing awesome. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So today, I want to talk about how much cheaper homeownership is in Florida rather than Illinois. And a lot of people might say, wait, does he have that mixed up? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But either way, I'm about to blow your mind in this video with the facts on home ownership from somebody who actually owns property in both states because it'll blow your mind. All right. And then to blow your mind one more time, at the very end of this video, there's going to be a link to another video that can change your mindset around financial assets. And if you like this video, you're going to love that one. So definitely check out that link at the very end of this video. So getting into it, here we are. So how much cheaper is home ownership in Florida rather than Illinois? Obviously, with all things, it depends on the market that you're talking about. Me personally, I've been a realtor in the South Florida market for a better part of 5 years now. And I owned a home in Hollywood, Florida. I moved to Rockford, Illinois. Cost of living might be a little bit less in Rockford, Illinois, particularly on real estate. But so that's what led to me owning both properties. Now, here is the interesting part. In the comments, this will be fun. I'm going to have fun with reading this. Okay. In Florida, value of my home was $500,000. My mortgage was $230 with a 2.5% interest rate. In Illinois, home value was $280, mortgage of $210 with a deadly 6.75 interest rate. Thank you, Federal Reserve. Love you. Kisses. Yeah. So in the comments down below on those two mortgages, I want you guys to tell me which mortgage you think I'm paying more on. If you'll notice, the mortgage amounts are within $20,000, but the interest rates are 4% higher in Florida. So you say, oh, it's 4% higher in Florida. So it must be like $800 more that you're paying on your mortgage in Florida. You would be surprised, and I was very surprised to learn that even with those interest rates, I don't know if I'm rude to tell you the exact number that I'm paying, but you can essentially probably do the math if you're in the industry. But the whole point is, those two mortgages cost within $50 of each other. On a mortgage that's about $2,000, they are within $50. But John, how is that possible? You're supposed to be saving hundreds of dollars a month, $700-800 compared to the mortgage rate now. If how is that possible? Well, a few things. First of all, when I moved to Illinois, I participated in really it's a form of house hacking where I doubled the size of my house while paying half the price that I would have in South Florida. Actually, well, really a quarter per the square footage, right? So paid half the price for my house and also doubled the size of the house. So that's the quadrupling, right? So a little bit of real estate arbitrage there in the location and in the move. And in doing that, now my tax burden, theoretically, if all things were equal, my tax burden between Florida and Illinois would be half as much, right? Say my tax burden in Florida is $2,500. If in Illinois it was the same tax burden, but the property cost half as much, then now I'm paying $1,250 on my taxes. But they say, oh, taxes are so high in Illinois. Well, it turns out actually that since the property values are half as much, they're actually still less than what they are in Florida, or very comparable, right? Because even if the property or the property tax rates are double, if the property is worth half as much, then it's going to be a wash on the taxes. Okay? Now, insurance. Let's say the insurance annually on the Florida property is $5,000. How much is it going to be on the Illinois property? Well, again, the Illinois property only needs to be insured for half as much. So now, even if everything was equal, well, the insurance company only needs to insure half as much. Here's the other side of it. Knock on wood, but Illinois is currently not at the same threat of, hurricane, climate change disasters, flooding from ocean sea level rise, and all these different kind of complicated, and not to mention the insurance companies going insolvent. There's a lot of different moving parts in that market, right? That insurance companies demand a premium. So while you might pay $5,000 on that $500,000 property in South Florida, on the $250,000 property in Illinois, you're going to pay $1,000, $1,400 a year. So you're actually going to save several thousand on the insurance, and then you're going to maybe break even on the taxes. And then it goes to the interest rate. And that is how this video is actually a trick question, because homeownership is more expensive or less expensive depending on what part of the ownership you're talking about in Florida or Illinois. But here's the most interesting thing. Overall, when you put it all together, buying a property in Illinois, even an upgraded property in Illinois, you can actually pay the same price on the mortgage as what you're paying in Florida, even if you have that mystical unicorn 2.5% interest rate, which is very important, because one of the big theses is that the housing market will never collapse because people can't let go of their interest rate. But people forget that cash flow is king. And so if you don't got the cash flow and you're going bankrupt, it doesn't really matter how much equity you have. You need to sell. You will need to sell. A lot of people will need to sell in the next 2, 3, 4 years. But I digress. That'll be for another video. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it blew your mind, because it blew my mind. I received the tax assessments and I was like, wait a minute. How are they the same? This doesn't make any sense. I'm getting ripped off by the Federal Reserve, giving me this 7% interest rate, or the bank, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ripped off on my interest rate. How am I paying the same amount? Oh, because in Florida they're ripping me off on my taxes and my insurance. Okay, so I'll choose my devil, but don't think you're saving and getting as much ahead from that 2.5% interest rate as you think you are, based on the amount of inflation. Because I can say, when I refinanced, and it was a lot of money to save $400 or $500 a month, but that inflates away pretty quickly. And I think that's also gonna be impacting housing the next year. But wanted to get a little bit granular in this video, kind of do a little fun thing that blew my mind about Florida and Illinois real estate. And again, if you like this, you're gonna love this next video that's gonna show up right here. Boom, boom, right in your face. So check that out. Subscribe down here. Boom, right, black spot. That should probably be my little subscribe area. Look at that. Look how good that looks, right? Perfect. Anyways, having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are too. I hope you're enjoying. If you're spreading the word and learning some things and thinking about things in different ways and having a lot of fun on this journey. So much love. I'll catch you on the next one.